نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. Today we are going to be working on ayat number 177, Surah alBaqarah. We will be doing only one ayat because this is a very comprehensive, amazing ayat which has many parts. Many scholars, many mufassirin say that if a person absorbs all parts of this ayat and implements it, then they have understood the basics. Their iman is secure. So if they are able to understand and implement this ayat. This ayat is also called ayat bir. Barara. Bir means, generally it means righteousness, piety, but the word bir literally means land. So from its opposite, bahar. Bahar means water, sea. On the other hand, if it's a land, what happens? What is there? There are different types of trees and mountains and animals and people and all the different things, right? So there is a lot of variety and there is a lot of vastness. So bir gives the meaning of variety and vastness. Variety, so piety and righteousness, there is many ways of doing it and there are many parts of it, not just different ways. You can't leave out some ways. So why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaching it here? Two reasons. One, because the Surah alBaqarah is a Madani Surah. So in Medina, all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were mostly related to how we have to carry on with our deen, related to our character, related to our mannerisms, related to our worship, related to our rituals. All those things are also covered a lot. Because compared to the Makki surahs, which were revealed in Makkah, mostly the topics were the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the belief in prophethood, angels, hereafter, day of judgment. And in usually the flavor of Madani surahs are related to things to do in day-to-day life. And there will be many topics which are slightly more technical will be covered after this. This is like the basics of what a Muslim should be. The second reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us over here is because in the past few lessons, you must have noticed that there was a lot of emphasis on facing the Qibla. So just so people do not get lost in the facing the Qibla as the biggest piety, as the biggest thing to do for Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends this ayat as a reminder that it is not only that facing in the right direction for your salah is not the only thing that you need to do, because sometimes whether it is facing the Qibla or anything that we are doing becomes so important that any other good deeds that other people are doing, they do not feel good enough to us. If we do all 5 for salah every day, then any person who's extremely good with their relatives, I'm not justifying missing the salah, but somebody who is struggling with Fajr Salah, but they're very good with their parents and they're very good with their relatives and very generous, and we are not. We are just praying Salah and we're very harsh with people and we're very stingy about giving it to relatives and stuff like that. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us the variety of things that we should do. And we should understand that it's not that just doing one thing and being obsessive about it will make you a pious or more righteous person than the other. The good deeds are of all types, and all types of good deeds need your attention. You cannot just be stuck on one. And that is why it is called ayat bir, and that is why the good deeds over here are explained in terms of the word bir. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Laisa, not, albirra, the virtue, niceness, good deeds. An, that. Tuwallu, waw lam ya is the root, which means to turn, that you turn. Wujuhakum, waw jim ha, your faces. Qibala, qibal, towards, facing. Al-mashriqi, the east. Wal maghrib, or and the west. Wa and lakinna, in fact. Al-birra, the good deeds or the virtue. Man, that. So the first part I've already told you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that virtue does not consist in whether you face towards the east or the west. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to tell us the 4 parts of Iman. Basically, the first part is related to the faith. The second parts are related to our relations with people, the rights of people. The third part is related to our worships, rituals, and the fourth part is related to our mannerisms and characters. So I will guide you as we go, inshallah. But I want to tell you that it covers all aspects of our deen, inshallah. So, walakin al birra, indeed, the virtue is, the good deeds are, the piety is in number 1, man amana billahi, in the believing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, wal yawmil akhiri, and in believing in the day of judgment or the last day. Number 3, wal malaikati, and in the angels, believing in angels. Number 4, wal kitabi, and believing in the books. Number 5, wal nabiyina, and believing in all the prophets. Then the next portion starts, which is wa atal mala, and to give mal, property, money, ala, upon, hubbihi, its love. So upon, because of the love of Allah, or even if you have the love for the mal. Hub means love. Even if you have the love for mal, still you give it, or giving the mal, giving the property, giving the money because of the love of Allah. Both meanings are taken here. Now, who to give the mal to? Zawil qurba, to the relatives. Wal yatama, to the orphans. Wal masakina, to the needy. Wabna sabil, to the travelers. Wasa'ilina, to the beggars. Wafir riqabi, for freeing the neck. I will go into the details. Then the third portion starts, wa aqamus salata, and to pray salat. Wa atas zakat, and giving zakat. Now the part related to akhlaqiyat, which is mannerisms and characteristics. Wal mufuna bi ahdihim, to fulfill the promises. Iza ahdu, when you make promises. Then number 2 was sabirina, and to be patient, bil ba'sa'i wa dharra'i wa hinal ba's, and for the patient ones in times of difficulty, hardship, and in times of war. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala concludes this ayat by saying, Ulaika allazina sadaqu, these are the people who speak the truth. About what? About being a Muslim. Wa ulaika humul muttaqun, and these are the people who are actually the muttaqun. They are actually the pious ones. They are the righteous ones. So from the general translation, you can see everything is covered. All aspects are covered. There are going to be more technical commands coming soon related to fasting and related to upon the death of a Muslim, and what is the waiting time for the widow, and how, like, related to marriages and divorce, and all those topics are going to come related to inheritance. But this is like basically the skeleton of our deen, right? And if we understand these things, inshallah, we have a good grip of our faith. I'll try to give you some more understanding of each of these, inshallah. So, laysal birra an tuwallu wujuhakum qibal al-mashriqi wal-maghrib. Walakin al-birra, number 1, man amana billahi, that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the believing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we all say that we believe in Allah, but what it actually means is that we do not have anyone else besides Allah, that we are giving the rights of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves all our tasbih, all our remembering, all our worship, all our full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, full trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not supposed to say that I believe in Allah but spend more time in doing other things and wasting our time. When we say we believe in Allah, it's like a contract. La ilaha illallah. So we are going to accept Allah as our Rabb, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created everything in this universe. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most sovereign. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the power. So believing it completely and in all the ways that only Allah can do everything for us. We do not need to rely on, depend on, expect from others. Then the second part is wal yawm al akhir. So this is also very important. Sometimes we say that, oh, I believe in the akhirah, I believe in qiyamah, but we don't, our actions do not reflect that. Our actions have to prove that we believe in the yawm al akhir, because if you do believe in day of judgment, what is the meaning of day of judgment? The day when things will be judged. Even if in dunya we are getting away with things, we should not live our life as if there is no akhirah, there is no day of judgment. When you are preparing for something, it shows from your actions. When you have a test the next day, you are seen studying. A normal person is seen studying, a normal person is seen worrying, a normal person is seen preparing for it. Right? Even if you've studied everything, you're just preparing things, you're making sure you're not going to be late, and you're nothing else, you're sleeping on time so you can be fresh in the exam day. Going back to the theme of this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us that if you want to become somebody who's pious, do not just become so upset if somebody is slightly even standing at a wrong angle from the qibla. And how do we do that? Right? We go and fix the prayer mat, and we just become really anxious about, oh, she was not standing at the right, oh, she was not wearing the proper scarf for the salah, or she was doing this, her salah is not accepted. Yes, these are all things important. I'm not saying that these are not important, but sometimes we go on appearance and inside we are empty. We are not doing things with the purity, the kindness in our heart. So day of judgment is going to be the day when everything will be judged. And we need to make our affairs very clear, very simple, very pure, based everything, every decision that we have for ourselves or with others. It has to be based on the fact that inshallah one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge on how I did things over here. Then let's move on to the wal malaika. So believing in angels is also piety, not thinking that they are partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning that they are ghaib, we cannot see them, and understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them some level of knowledge. They only praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They only do the jobs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them, like taking the life or moving the clouds, air, rain, and whatever else there is in the universe. It's huge. We don't even know what jobs are assigned and what are the jobs, right? So believing in malaika wal kitab and believing in the books. So we do follow Quran as our sharia. We are supposed to do that. And for the other books, we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them. They all came from the same source. So we should believe that if Allah has told us in Quran that other books also came and on the other prophets, then we have to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed those books and that Quran was not the only one. Then believing in Nabiyyin, believing in all the prophets. We are the Ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but we believe in all the prophets. We respect them all. We should study more about the other prophets, what challenges they faced, what nations they came upon, to learn. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that the other nations also got prophets, we believe in them, we respect them, we don't give more honor to one compared to the other, or we do not say anything of disrespect for any prophet. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose some people from the world to be the prophets, and we believe in them. And then this is imaniyat, all the faith related, that our beliefs are in these things. Then what should we do? Wa'atal mala, and to give the mal. Mal, the root is mim wa lam, meaning value. So any asset, any value, any property, money basically. Ala, upon, hubbihi, hababa, and the love of it. So in the love of Allah or in the love of money. Zawil qurba, for the qurba, qaf raba means qareeb, means close, so relatives. And from the hadith, we know that helping a poor relative or needy relative is double the rewards. Why? It says that one reward is because of helping the poor, and the second, and like how it is doubled, is because of being good to your relative. So sometimes people are very biased against their relatives. They think that, oh, they have this attitude of asking, or they just think that I'm so well off, so they just want to stay dependent on me. Try not to judge people, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not put you in that position. Asking somebody or being needy is a very bad situation in itself. We don't know what the other person, even if they're smiling on the face, what they're going through. It's not easy to ask somebody for money. Even if you feel that they just have this attitude, try to be kind to them. Most of the times kindness heals many things. So if you do not have a cold behavior as well, we should also check our own behavior sometimes, because we are very insecure about what they will think about us. If we are kind, if we are open to them, inshallah nobody can take advantage of us. And in any case, when we are giving sadaqah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at our intention, and Allah Ta'ala rewards us according to that, not based on what they did with it. In any case, we are supposed to be good with our relatives, and helping them is an awesome way, because we are getting double the rewards, we are increasing our relationships, and we are being able to actually improve somebody's life. Maybe, our cousins or our cousins' children, if you can help them with improving their education, getting them to better institutes, helping them to certain degrees, in any way you can help them, it is like improving their whole life, the life of their whole family, right? So instead of letting them stay in the same loop, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He gives you money enough, you get the opportunity of getting somebody out of that loop. Then spend money on yatama, orphans. So if you see, Allah did not just say that, okay, give money to poor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually, because it is ayat bir, right? Ayat of variety of piety. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us ideas. It is like if somebody just says, okay, help the poor. We understand, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us ideas is a huge blessing. Yatama, we all know, usually the orphans are going through struggle. Even if they have been left by a very wealthy father, if they are young, there's a big giant emptiness in their life. It's not going to be the same as being raised with a father who would be alive. So try to fill that gap. Spending money on them, if they are poor, of course, this is again a huge opportunity. You do not just have to worry about, mostly what do we think about orphans? Oh, if they have food, if they have clothes, if they have shelter, that is enough. So just because somebody's parents have died does not take the right away from them to be able to play with toys, or to be able to enjoy some time in the park, or watching a movie, or playing some games. Nothing. It does not mean that they don't think like a child. It does not mean that they don't enjoy luxury and pampering and fun. Sometimes we become too harsh in our thinking that as long as they have these, we put a check there. So orphans are children. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a different category for it. So we understand that they will not just need the financial help, they will also need the physical help, they will also need emotional help. They will need somebody to guide them, what subjects to take, what to do, what would be a good career path. So there would be many ways in which you will be able to help them. And they might not even realize. Sometimes adult poor people would know that this person helped me, this person did not. But children, what do they know? They will not even know that you did not help them. So if you have any families around you, be kind to them, bring them gifts, don't wait for some certain occasions. And besides the family or orphans around you, in today's times it is very easy to sponsor orphans through websites. You can go to the websites and it's very easy and very affordable. So do this, because Prophet ﷺ put his two fingers together and said that the person who takes care of an orphan will be like this with me in Jannah. So you don't want to be deprived of the closeness with Prophet ﷺ in the Akhirah. Then wal masakin. Sakan, it comes from Sin Kaf Noon. Sakan means sukun, which means to pause, to stop. So sometimes people are not perpetually poor or needy. But sometimes some things happen in their life that brings a pause, that their life becomes immobile because of different reasons. They got fired from a job, or their business went down, their spouse passed away, or they had a divorce, or anything, things not going well in the house, big illness in the house, and then that person is really not able to make decisions or do anything. They're not able to come out. A child is really, really sick, and the parents are not able to make any decisions or do anything for the other children. So helping them in those times, just not only financially, maybe sometimes people need financial help also when somebody is sick in the family. Sometimes at that time, if the family has 2 3 4 kids and one of them is extremely sick in the hospital, the parents are just barely able to do their jobs and be in the hospital, then taking care of the rest of the family in whatever way, giving them food, so the other kids are not affected health wise or in their routines or in their schools. Okay, sometimes people are, they are doing fine with their check to check life, like they are spending, they just are hand to mouth, but things happen in their life that their car broke down, they went through an accident, they are fine, but their car is completely gone. They, a person who's just earning enough to be able to pay the rent and the fees and was just doing monthly day-to-day things fine, may not have any reserves, any savings to be able to buy another car immediately or to fix the fridge or washing machine. And these are not the things that you would think that, oh, I'd rather just feed somebody who does not even have the food. Helping someone who is a miskeen, whose life has come to a standstill, is also a huge help, because it has affected their day-to-day life. So it does not mean that giving somebody money or buying a washing machine for somebody or a fan for really hot days or a heater for somebody, it does not mean that, oh, food is more important. Food is definitely more important, but give money, just give money, because this is where you will achieve the level of piety on the day of judgment, when it will be extremely hot. The hadith mentioned that this charities that you will have done, they will come from here and there and start making a cloud or a canopy on top of you, and you will wonder, where are all these small clouds coming from? And then you will be told that all those sadaqahs that you did and you don't even remember, buying this for somebody, giving money to this, sending food to this person, giving gift to this orphan, all those things, they will come collect together and make a solid shelter over top of you, so you do not have to experience the heat of that day. So give as much as you can. Try to visualize the day of judgment. Try to see how much you want to avoid. You want to wear your sunglasses, you want to have an umbrella, or you want to avoid heat at any cost, right? In this dunya. And the day of judgment, this heat is nothing compared to that. So try your best. Do not wait for that day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the blessing to be on this ayat. Make a change in your life. If you were spending 10% of your income, start making it 12, 13, something, increase something, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see that when you read something, you want to practice according to it. Then we will move on to Wabnas Sabil. Wabnas Sabil means the son of Sabil. Sabil means road or path. So son of the path means person who is traveling. It's just an expression to say in Arabic. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned traveler also as one of the categories on whom you spend money. It is not said over here that if they are poor. So it means that honoring the guest also, especially when somebody is visiting from different state, different country, even if they are living in a hotel, being kind to them, visiting them, telling them that you can take them, making yourself available for them, your friends, cousin, whoever is there, and taking them out for food or giving them or inviting them, whatever works. If they're staying at your place, if Allah has blessed you with a space that they can be at your place, you are getting more rewards, more and more rewards, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember, put this in its own category. Even if they are well off in their own city, country, you are supposed to spend money on them. You're supposed to treat them well. You're supposed to make sure they have everything that they need to become more comfortable. You're supposed to give them good food and, be hospitable. You're supposed to take them places to show your city, town, if you have time and if you can manage that. And if they have small kids with them, children with them, make them comfortable. Make it, because when a person is traveling, it is not easy. Even if they're traveling in full luxury, it's not home, right? And in any case, even if it seems luxury in these days, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this command to spend on them. So whatever the hikmah behind it, just like the hadith, so give gifts and increase the love. So gifts and treating them well, this is also a gift to make good food for them and tell them, oh, you must be missing food from home, so I made this and stuff. So just being kind and not thinking that, oh, they're so well off, they can eat wherever they want. Yes, they can, but this is your opportunity to be able to practice on this ayat, not to think that, okay, do they need money or do they need the food? Still, when people are traveling, they might be going through some problems like losing their bag somewhere and not able to get their bag for 2 more days, or things like these happen. So don't wait for them to be in a needy position only. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just mentioned travelers, so take it at that. Then was-sa'ilina. Sa'ilin comes from the root sin hamza al-lam. Sa'al means question. So those who question, meaning the beggars. So when we did masakin, we talked about people who will not need to ask. They will be in some kind of hardship, but they will be managing. It could be that their children, for example, are doing regular education, but one of the child wants to take part in some after school activity and they don't have special money for that. So that is masakin, right? But sa'ilin are people who are actually asking, the beggars. So we are not supposed to, it has been mentioned in Quran before as well, wala tanhar, don't be angry at the people who ask money. And the beggars could be the people who ask for money, could be of two types: one from kalam, by speaking, one from the hal, from their conditions. Sometimes people are sitting somewhere, they're not asking, but from their condition you can see that they could use some food, or they need some clothes. From the hal, sometimes somebody, they're not asking for money like your maids or someone, but they're telling their story where you hear that the child needs a new jacket for the school or something. So don't wait for them to actually say that, can you please buy me this, or the child needs some colors or paints for this. Even if it's just their hobby, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you that your children, you guys can do your hobbies and you can go buy things not even as need, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the opportunity to fulfill that for somebody else by giving you the money. Allah could have given them directly. So always find yourself, where can I use the opportunity? So we did sa'ilina, and wafir riqab. Riqab means neck. So freeing somebody's neck. In the olden times, it was freeing the slaves. They had to pay or work for a number of years and stuff. These days, if you can't find slaves, it can be helping somebody getting out of the loan, which they would not have been able to because of their monthly salary. You can see that they will work for even 20 years and will not be able to get out of this loan. So helping somebody pay off their loan, and also helping somebody in getting their daughter married. So enabling them so they are in a position to get their daughter married, or get their children, daughter, son, anyone, education, which they would not have been able to do without loan. So riqab, like if otherwise, what would happen to a family who is lower middle class? They would stay in the same loop. If the person is a plumber, his child is also going to grow up to be a plumber, because there is no way that he can go to college without loans, and nobody would give them even loans, right? And if somebody would, then they don't know how they will return it because of the job situation. So this is all for riqab. Also, the other example of riqab would be helping somebody come out of the jail by paying the bail money, because many innocent lives are also in the jails just because of the corruption in the system. So help people out in right, left, front, back, every way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you examples, but use your brain. Wherever you can find an example, just go and help, thinking that Allah has helped me. now it is my duty to help these people. So do not hoard money. Don't think that, okay, this money, if I keep saving it, it's going to be mine. It's going to be helpful for me, for my children's wedding, for my children's education, or I have to send my children to college. So you never know what will happen. You never know if your child, if you give sadaqah, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will create means for your child to get, he will be so bright, he will get full scholarship. Or maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will create means for you to get so much barakah that you will have more than that what you have saved. So try to help people who needs help in the current time, instead of saving for something that will be useful after 10 years, right? So you don't know how things will change in 10 years. God forbid, if you just keep hoarding money, thinking I have children, I have to do this, God forbid, what will happen to your children? And you will never have the opportunity to use. Maybe they will have bad company, maybe they will have bad friends, but this sadaqah will help you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you and your family from bad things to happen to your family. Okay, and then we will come to the third portion of these ayats, which is the worship or the rituals. So aqam as-salat, and aqam means qafa mim, which means establish. Salat is our prayers, especially the 5 times which are the compulsory, we cannot leave them. And many ahadith tell us about how important salah is. The first question that will be asked will be about salah, and the companions asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is the best deed to do? And Prophet sallallahu said to pray salah on its right time. So aqam as-salah, as we have already discussed, that it is establishing salah, not just praying salah. Establishing means doing it on the proper time, doing it with clean, pure, taking care of your clothes or the place of salah. Also doing the salah with khushu and khudu, like complete focus, complete fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To imagine that you are meeting, this is like our one-on-one meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To imagine that every time you're going inside the salah, it's like you're getting lots of treasures, because the azan says hayya al falah, come to the success. If you want success, come there. So, and making it beautiful, long, more focused, changing the surahs, and not just stealing from the salah. According to the hadith, what is stealing from the salah? When you do fast ruku and fast sajdas. Also making it better every time that I want to learn more ayats, so I can add more ayats, making longer sujuds, more duas within the salah. So learning salah on its own is a whole subject. So establish salah, doing it on the right time, don't ignore it, don't make it late. And then the other part is wa'at zakah, and to give zakah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us all list of places where we should spend money as sadaqah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions zakat, which is the compulsory, which is an obligation on all human beings, all Muslims, to give 2.5 out of every 100 that we have after reaching a certain level of wealth. So this is zakat, we should pay. That is not something that a person can get away with. Zakat is something that all Muslims have to pay after reaching the certain level of zakat. The more details about zakat is its whole topic. All right, and then we will come to the mannerism and characters, making the characters better as a Muslim. Wal mufuna, it comes from the root wafaya, which means, wafi means to complete or fulfill. Bi ahdihim comes from ain hadal ahad, which means promise. Ida, when, ahadu, when you make promises. Fulfill the promises, which the only thing that we can think of is, okay, telling somebody, I promise I will bring your stuff tomorrow, or I promise I will do this work within 2 days. But we do not consider our jobs as a promise, as a contract. We do not understand that the supervisor might not be standing on our head the whole time. The project manager might not be there, but we are supposed to do certain things at our job. We're supposed to spend certain number of hours. We're supposed to not steal things from our office. That is all part of promise. That is all part of the trust. We're also supposed to remember that appointments are also an ahad, taking time, wasting somebody doctor's time, not going there on time. We're also supposed to understand that if somebody tells us to promise not to tell this to somebody, then just we have to keep it to ourselves. We are also supposed to understand that when we are installing some software and it says that you agree with the all the terms, right, that you're not going to you know spread this, or you're not going to give this DVD or CD for free, and what do? We just download and then we give it out to the others. So this is all stealing. We are breaking the promise we just made because we don't see a real person saying this. We just sign the contract and we do the exact opposite. There are so many things, pirated copies of many softwares and many games and these things. It's a very common thing, and people think that it's a very smart move. So there's a trust going on behind that, and we need to understand that these are all under the phrase that we have to mufuna bi ahdihim iza ahadu. Every promise is part of this. والصابرين, and those who are patient. صاد بارا صبر في البأساء. So this is, I know we've studied sabr in a lot of detail in the previous ayats, in the previous few lessons. The thing is, over here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us as part of the bir that a person should focus on, not just only on the appearance, what kind of clothes this lady wears, and whether this person's beard is long enough or not, or whether they are, seen in the masjid or not, or how do they deal with their wife. Only things that are appearing to us, we start judging people on that. So piety for us is also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we should stay busy in this or that or this or that. So here is a list of things that you should keep yourself busy with. So wasabirina, and those who are patient when fil ba'sa'i. Ba'sa is usually financial difficulty or physical difficulty. Okay. What darra is, is something like emotional or mental or any kind of hurt that you have felt in any way. You're hurt because of others, or you're hurt because of some mental health problem or depression or sadness, or any way where you are disappointed, where you had some other kind of expectation and it did not, whether it is from your colleagues or friends or from your spouse. So any kind of mental, emotional turmoil that you might be going through. Wahin al-ba'asi. Hin al-ba'as means the time of war. So that is the time where there is physical, there is mental, there is emotional, there is future insecurity, all kinds of problems and unpredictable situations are going on. To be patient in those times. And so the physical, coming back to the ba'sa'i, meaning like if somebody is not feeling well, then there are many types of attitudes how to deal with that illness. To just keep complaining, to make others, giving others a hard time, to just saying, oh my god, what am I going through, and or to do tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfar, and trying to be patient. That okay, headache will happen, stomachache will happen, or this kind of, God forbid, cancer or other big problems will happen. Some people who are aging, many problems start coming to them, like the arthritis and diabetes and hypertension, and all these problems will come. Instead of getting upset with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or with your people or with the doctor or with anyone, right, try to think of it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan for this, and trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. And also ba'sa means financial difficulty. So being especially the hunger. So hungry, a person will be, even it could be because of the financial difficulty, it could be because of fasting. So we have to understand that we do not become so irritated because of somebody around Maghrib time, we become upset with anyone saying anything. So we have to keep in mind that I want to be a pious person. I want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to love me. So inshallah, I have to just keep reminding. Sometimes it's just in our head. If we keep reminding ourselves, if we are more mindful about this ayat, right, then things are more under control. We are able to do things more when we have a plan. When we can think better, we are able to implement things better. So write this list in English maybe, or Urdu, or Arabic, whatever language you like. Make a bulleted list of things that you have to keep doing. Keep it in front of you so you understand that no, these things are things I have to do. I should be busy in one or the other of these things. This is what I want to do. I'm preparing for my akhirah. So darra, as I said, being angry, upset at someone for being very annoying or very hurtful to you, or being insensitive. So it could be a person living in a joint family and they are challenged completely, or somebody who has special kids and they have a challenge. I mean, they might not be physically ill, but every day is a challenge for them. So in times of those, sabr, okay, and also helping those people out. So in these times of trial, people have sometimes very abusive, they are in relationship. So it does not mean, sabirin does not mean to just keep on being patient and keep taking the abuse. It means to deal with the situation with sabr and find out the solution for that. Wahin al-Bas. Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after telling us all these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those who keep themselves busy in this, Ula'ika allazina sadaqu. Those are the people who have spoken the truth. Sadaq means truth. So they are the truthful ones. Wa ulaika, and those are the people, humul muttaqun. They are the people of taqwa. Muttaqun, the root is waw, qaf, ya. The literal meaning of waqi is to protect yourself. Just like I gave you the example, if somebody has allergy from something, they will protect themselves from that. They will not go and eat that. They will stay away from that. So a person who is a muttaqi in Islam will stay away from sins, will not go towards bad things, bad company, bad movie, anything where they would want to be hurtful. They will not use proper language. They will make some fun of somebody. So they will stay away from all those things. They should think that I have allergy to this, I will have a reaction to this, and there will be consequences. So if we completely keep on telling ourselves, we will stay away from all the bad habits that we have. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in our intentions and efforts, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the muttaqeen.